In this video, I'm going to show you how to become an Uber driver and show you the Uber driver sign up process. This is super easy to do, and throughout this video, I'm going to give you a bunch of pro tips as well as things that I wish I knew before signing up. Let's get into it. First up, as you can see, I'm on Uber.com, drive or deliver. So this works both for Uber and Uber Eats. Get in the driver's seat and get paid. Let's get into it. Sign up to drive. Now, I am in LA. It's going to give you kind of a mini pitch right here of like how much you could potentially make. This is different city to city. So at least at the exact time of this video, as you can see here in LA, about $2,400 you can earn if you do a bunch of rides. I think right here it says when you complete 200 trips, deliveries. Go down to here. Now sign up to drive. There's two options to start with. One is you have a car. Two is you need a car. Now I have a couple of videos listed below in the description I suggest you watch. One is about the Uber car requirements, because some vehicles do or do not qualify for Uber. And the second is about if you should rent a car through Uber. There's pros and cons to both, I will say that. Also, I want to say one thing as a side note. If you're looking to do Uber Eats, you can do Uber Eats on a bicycle or even on foot. So I just want to say that, keep that in mind. In most cases though, you're probably going to have a car, so let's fill this out. After I click next, this is going to pop up. Choose how you'd like to earn with Uber. Give rides or deliver with a car, give rides with a car, delivery by scooter. So like I said before, when it comes to Uber Eats, if you want to do by bicycle or foot, you can do that. Let's say you're very tight on money and you're in that kind of odd predicament where you're like, well, I need a job to get a car, but I need a car to get a job. At least with Uber Eats, you could start on foot, work your way up to a bicycle, work your way up to a car, and so on and so forth, or you can rent, like I said. In this case, though, I select that I already have a car, so I can give rides or delivery with a car. So you can see these are the basic requirements. To give you a couple sentences right here. You are at least 21 years old, and your car is 2006 or newer with 4 doors. Remember, you can also rent a car whether you have one or not. I actually personally know people who have their own car and decide to rent through Uber anyway because they don't want to put all those miles and depreciation on their own car. Like I said, watch the video I posted below in the description about renting or not renting. There's a couple tricky things that come into play with renting. But anyway, so this is the most basic one. So I'm just going to click continue. At this point now, you can say if you have a vehicle or not. I feel like for most people watching this video, you might already have a vehicle kind of ready to go. So I'm going to click continue. Now at this point, they are going to do a background check. Keep in mind, if you have anything on your record, in some cases you can still drive, in other cases you can't. It depends case-by-case situation and a case-by-case basis. After creating an account, you're gonna have to go through a bunch of different steps to submit information, kind of similar to like a setup wizard if you've ever installed something on a computer. These are the different ones that I've already submitted. I mean, this is actually like a fake Uber account I made just for this video to show you, but you're gonna have to submit a background check, of course, profile photo, driver's license, your vehicle insurance, vehicle registration, vehicle inspection, and lastly, required training under the California law. This depends state to state. Now I'm gonna give you 3 huge pro tips when it comes to the sign up process. 1, every city and state has different requirements. As you saw, I was focusing more on Los Angeles, but every city and state has different requirements. For example, in New York, you actually need a TLC license in order to be a rideshare driver. In addition, at the exact time of this video, New York is actually not accepting any new drivers, so this changes, again, time period to time period as well. Every city and state has different requirements when it comes to the driver and the vehicle. Some areas require your vehicle to be a bit newer. Other areas don't care as much about if you have an in-state license or an out-of-state license. This depends area to area, so keep that in mind. Number 2, sign up with both apps. I'm talking about Uber and Lyft. Now, I've made a ton of pro tip videos on this channel about how to make more money as a driver. In the description below, I also have a video called 25 tips for new drivers in terms of Uber and Lyft. I highly suggest watching that, especially because those tips help you make more money. And one big thing is make sure you sign up with both apps. And I know, in some areas, Lyft is more popular, or Uber is more popular. I know some drivers or riders who prefer Uber or Lyft over Uber. Regardless of your feelings, you're gonna make the most amount of money driving if you sign up with both apps. Each app has different bonus structures, and sometimes it changes weekend to weekend. On some random Friday nights, Uber is paying more. On another one, Lyft is paying more. It's super random, and the best way to make the most amount of money is sign up with both apps. And lastly, number 3, consider doing Uber Eats. Now, I did an entire entire video talking about Uber driving versus Uber Eats driving. Again, that video will be posted in the description, so a lot of other videos for you to check out. But that is something I would suggest looking into because overall it depends on a lot of its situations. One of them being the income. Of course, you want to make the most amount of money. Now, I've looked at a lot of surveys and research, and in some areas, Uber pays more than Uber Eats. So you're better off just doing rideshare driving. In other areas, though, Uber Eats pays more than Uber, so you're better off doing delivery driving. It really depends on the location. Another thing is, what's your personal preference? I know some people who say, hey Mark, I'm not gonna lie, I don't wanna drive for Uber. I like the idea that I can go to the restaurant, pick up the food, put it in my car, bring it to the person's place. I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to have weird interactions. I get to be in my own car without being disturbed. I can play music, listen to podcasts, whatever you wanna do. I know other people who say, hey, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like delivery driving. I heavily prefer rideshare driving. This depends person to person, and remember too, you can always do both. Maybe on a random night, try out Uber, see how much it pays. On another night, try out Uber Eats. Test out the waters with both rideshare driving and delivery driving because that's the best way to make the most amount of money.